Why should we use credit cards for our businesses? Back here with another video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about using credit cards for your e-commerce store and whether or not it is free money and how it really works. And before we jump in and get started to go further in depth into this video, I do want to mention I am not a financial advisor. You should only take my advice if you believe that you should use it or whatever, however this statement goes. Basically, I'm not a financial advisor. If you want to take my advice, great. It is off of my experience and the things I have done. If not, that's fine. I'm not responsible for anything that you do, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. So let's start talking a little bit about what credit cards are, why we use them, and kind of break through some of the barriers of what people talk about credit cards negatively when they talk about them. So the first thing that I want to mention is you do want to make sure, okay, before we jump into the video, make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you click that like button so you can get all the content from me. Turn that notification bell on so you're always getting the videos when I'm pushing out the massive value every single Tuesday and every single Thursday. Okay, but first thing, as we were saying, the first thing is you never want to spend any money that you don't have. That's where people get into trouble. They spend money that they don't actually have. And then later on down the road, they're making minimum payments. They're not paying off their full statement balances, and therefore they're paying that massive 15, 20, 25, 30% interest that is unbelievable and really is really hard to get out of a hole when you get in that spot anyway. So just to break off that perception at the beginning here, no, it is not actually free money. You cannot spend money that you do not have. I do not recommend doing that. Only spend the amount of money that you actually have. However, when you get a credit line and you have a credit card and you're using it to float some expenses and stuff like that, you don't want to use the cash at that moment. It is free money within that moment because you're not spending the actual cash you have. Because as you guys know, when you use a debit card instead of a credit card, as soon as you use that debit card, it is taken directly out of your account. The reason and the way that this essentially works is you use your credit card and it is not debited straight from your account. It goes into a negative balance, right? Or a positive balance, as you might say, into your credit account. And then you have to pay that off 30 or more days later. Okay, so the great part about it is you can get free money from using credit cards and free travel. Now, free money is in the form of cash back, and free travel is in the form of points and other benefits, etc. And I'm going to be going more in depth on this in other videos, but essentially, you spend for every dollar you can get a penny back or 2 pennies back or whatever it may be in travel points or in cash. So there are ways to get money back when you spend money. Okay, and so that's what I mean when I say free money. Now, the great part about credit card usage with running an e-commerce business, there's a lot of category multipliers. If you go on a business trip anywhere, you can use a card that can get you 3 times points on travel or even as much as 5 times points on travel, which means every dollar you spend, you're going to get 5 pennies back in travel. Basically, that's how it works. And I can go into more detail on that, but I'll do that in another video. So if you spend $1,000 on a trip, you're going to expect to get something like, what is that, $50 back, $1,000, $50 back, yeah, in travel, right? And so when you get $50 back, if you do that 5 times a year, you're getting $250 in free travel back every single year. And over a few years, that'll add up to a free trip, right? And the idea is not to just use it for travel, to use it for anything related to your business as well. Another example, running Facebook advertisements, you're gonna get 3 times points on every dollar you spend. So if you scale up your e-commerce business to any level, if you're spending $200, $300, $400 a day, let's say you're just spending the minimum, you have a product that's doing pretty well, doing a few $100 a day, you're doing $200 a day, times that by 30, that means you're spending $6,000 a month on Facebook ads. You're probably getting something like $10,000 back, maybe $12,000 or $15,000 back. But if you're spending $6,000 you're spending, that means you're getting back $180 worth of points, okay? In other words, 18,000 points because it's 3 times per dollar. You're spending $6,000 a month on ads. So it's just right there. You can get some category multipliers, as I mentioned there, for Facebook ads, for travel, stuff like that. Depends on the specific card. Now, the best part about credit cards is that you're not spending your own cash. You're floating that money, those expenses, for 30 days or more. And what I mean by that is this, and it's important that you understand this. When you spend on a credit card on January 1st, right? And let's say your statement closes on the 15th of January, right? And that means that all of the transactions from December 15th through January 1st, right? This is just using this as an example. I'm gonna do a simple explanation here. When you make a transaction, when you go and pay for something on January 1st, when you pay for that, with your credit card, it doesn't come directly out of your bank account. And you're not actually gonna have to pay for that thing that you just bought on your credit card out of your bank account for at least 30 days. For the majority of the time, it's going to be 30 to 45 days, okay? So you're not going to actually have to pay for that thing you paid for on January 1st until at least February 1st, maybe like February 15th, maybe even later than that if you just got the card. So that's the real advantage to it, is that you get a buffer. You get a 30, 45, sometimes 60, sometimes 180-day buffer to pay off the things that you've bought, okay? And so the great part about that is you can have all of your cash in something that is gaining interest, right? You can have it in a mutual fund. You can have it in whatever you may want, Roth IRA. You can just have it in a savings account that's gaining a percentage of interest, and you can actually be using that cash to gain money, and then you can pay off things slowly as time goes on. And it's just it helps with the cash flow issues you may have. It's just a smart way to deal with your money. So that's a little bit of why we use credit cards and some of the benefits that we can gather, we can get with using credit cards in our e-commerce businesses. If you like this video, please comment below. Let me know what you thought about it. If you didn't like it, comment below. Let me know what you thought about it. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.